Okay, we are live on the YouTube airs. So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. I will show you terror in a handful of dust. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am John, and I am joined by Shelle and Stugots. As opposed to join being joined by and Shelle and Stugots.
What's that? What was that thing you said? Hi, everyone.
I started to say join instead of John.
No, the terror and dust. And
It is the tagline from when the comic book Sandman was initially announced. The advertisement had a variation on a T.S. Eliot quote. The quote is, "I will show you fear in a handful of dust." The advertisement said, "I will show you terror in a handful of dust."
Oh, how interesting.
That would work if you had a dust allergy.
Yes.
Well, I have a dust buster to stop such things from happening.
Well, then you're just about an Avenger, then.
Yeah.
Or the maid.
Dustbuster.
One of the two. So,
American Made.
American.
Like from the Tick.
Is that what that's
the
from?
trailer for the new series came out yesterday. Yeah. I'm excited about that. Amazon Prime, August 25th. More Tick is coming. I'm hoping it's good. I didn't look. Did either of you watch the Amazon pilot from last year?
I never even watched the cartoon.
You're missing out. It is one of the funniest things ever. All right. One other thing that came out yesterday is that Matt Reeves, the current director of The Batman, is throwing out
War of the Planet of the Apes.
And War of the Planet of the Apes that comes out this weekend, has thrown out the Ben Affleck script.
Wow.
Is anybody really surprised by this?
No, of course not.
Well, I mean, I would think just to save face and to not embarrass Mr. Affleck, they would say, we are going to supplement it somehow, or we're just making a few tweaks. But to come right out and say, we're tossing this, is that a big embarrassment for your Batman?
I think it's rude on their part. I don't think it's embarrassing for Ben Affleck. I think it's more like, hey, look at how this big studio with this giant franchise is treating one of the anchors of that franchise.
I think
they wouldn't treat Superman that way.
They did that previously. The Kevin Smith script was thrown out when Tim Burton took over the franchise.
No, I meant they wouldn't treat the current Superman.
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Cavill? Cavill? I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest.
I mean, over the years, they've shown like that they genuinely don't care about these characters or doing them well. I mean, if you watch that documentary with Nicolas Cage about the making of that film, it was like, oh my God, what are they thinking? They don't know. They don't know how to make movies.
I just rewatched that last week too.
How are they Time Warner? How are they one of maybe the largest media company in the world? They don't know how to make a movie. They're going to make this Nicolas Cage movie.
Well, it sounded like the Nicolas Cage movie wouldn't have completely sucked. It's just the little bits and pieces that had come out before before the documentary, made it look like it was going to. But like listening to them talk about it, it sounded like there's actually some good stuff in it.
Oh no, they talk it up like it was going to be Citizen Kane.
Well, yes,
there's no doubt about it.
What movie is this?
It was
The Death of Superman Lives.
Yes, with Nicolas Cage, and the documentary about the making of the movie The Death of Superman.
Oh, I have not seen that. I need to.
Oh my God!
Sounds amazing.
Oh, you definitely need to. Because
they really do make this movie sound like it's going to change the world, and it was like, it's going to cure fucking childhood starvation in this country. This movie, that's what this movie's going to do. It will cure AIDS. That's how good it's going to be. And it's like, well, no, this looks terrible.
It looked like it had some interesting story parts, but it was mostly the comic.
The suit would have killed it.
Oh, the suit's bad?
It was like light up.
Well, no, see,
It was
that's
like
what they
fiber
explained.
optics.
They explained that in the movie that was only going to be for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Like that was going to be the suit that, like, when he comes after he dies and he's reborn, that's
Yeah.
the suit that brings him back to life. And that's the suit that we all saw and went, oh, this looks like shit.
Oh my god.
Which,
No.
could have been all right. But they said that they didn't really know what the Superman suit was going to look like. They were, a couple stills came out and whatever, and then Bryan Singer took over, threw the whole thing out anyway. So
Nothing. Thankfully. Not that he put out something that was any better, but
exactly, as Kevin Smith likes to put it, Superman didn't punch anything in the entire movie.
yeah.
He's Superman.
He stared.
He punched an island.
He looked a lot like who?
No.
So I mean,
The kid punched something. The kid punched a piano in that movie.
Yeah. Which
He
we don't
doesn't
need to go
punch
into
anything.
But even that's a gray area because Lois
Yeah.
had the kiss of forgetfulness in Superman 2, doesn't remember having sex with Superman, Clark Kent, and yet she has his child.
Yeah.
And this isn't a gray area to anybody.
Man.
So, yeah, that we don't know how that movie would have turned out, but we haven't had much better since anyway.
So I want to say that these new Batman scripts will include the Joker, I'm sure, and Batman's origin, because we've never seen that in a film before.
geez.
I know, I'm hoping to see that for the first time.
So, oh man, we're gonna see that for the first time again.
I have so many questions
It'll be
about
beautiful.
that.
Me too. Like, why does he do what he does? Where does that resolve and determination come from?
See, I'd like to know is, are they walking down a dark alley? Is
Yeah.
the mother wearing pearls? I don't know.
Is her name
Were they
Martha?
movie theater?
Yeah, exactly. Were they from a theater? I don't know.
Are they still alive? Maybe somewhere. What happened to them?
I guess
I
we never know.
need to know all
Oh
of
my
these
God.
things.
Yeah. Which brings us to something else we all watched, I hope. Batman Dead End.
I
I
did
did
not.
watch it.
I was working. I couldn't get to it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Have you at least seen the short?
No.
Okay. Shelle, why don't you tell us what the short is first?
The short is very short. It's about
about
5
10
minutes with 3 minutes of
It's 5?
credits.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 8 altogether. So the short is just starts with the Joker, who I'm amazed, but I feel like they modeled Heath Ledger after this guy, right?
Oh, they say that in
Ooh.
the documentary about it that we'll get to in a moment. But yeah.
I mean, honestly, Stugots, the Joker is great and scary looking.
Oh yeah. It's
And so it's
creepy. I love it.
yes,
Yeah.
he's very creepy, and it just starts with him. I guess he had escaped the asylum. I'm guessing, and there's very little dialogue in this, if any, maybe just a line here or two, and then he chases the Joker into an alley, and then all of a sudden we've got an alien. And then all of a sudden we've got predators. So it's just like it's Batman versus Alien versus Predators. It's an insane concept, and it's so short. And the way it ends is kind of cool. I liked it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's
Isn't there a comic book with Batman versus Predator and Batman versus Alien?
Yeah, there have been Dark Horse DC crossover comics in the past about that.
is that what that's based on, or did they originate with this?
It's an original idea. It was. I mean, So there was. We also watched a documentary on the making of, which was like 10 times as long as the short.
Literally
at an hour and a half.
Yes.
Wow.
It was all about the director, who's also the writer-director, and him saying, "I want to create a short that's like Batman versus Predator. And that's the original idea. And it all kind of draws out from there. And it's all about how he came up with it, his background, the background that led to this, the casting, every little piece. And it was really interesting to watch the creative process through it all. And
it's funny. It starts off with him basically then letting you know that this guy, Sandy, whatever his last name is a bit of a dick. And he's a bit of an egomaniac. And he's gotten the opportunity to work with Stan Winston. That other guy is Alvarez, I believe his last name was. Is that correct?
I'm blanking as well, but yeah.
And he had all these opportunities, and he had a lot of talent, but he also had this ego that made people not want to work with him so much. And you can even tell, he's here. It is years later, and he knows that he's got this problem. I don't know if he's been able to adjust his personality at all, because people still don't want to work with him so much, it seems. But it's interesting that, I say good for him that he at least recognizes that there's that issue. But he's a talented guy. I mean, they showed him working with the sculptures. They showed his he did a whole storyboard of the short, and those drawings are fantastic. I mean, he's a talented dude. And you would think so many people in Hollywood are assholes that it's just a thing you get over and you work with them. But somehow he hasn't been that lucky.
Yeah, it's Sandy Cholera, and he's a very talented artist. You see him
Really
sculpting, you see him drawing, you see him painting, you see him catching fish, and I mean, he's done designs. He worked for the Stan Winston Studios. He's designed toys for like Sideshow and all of the big like statues and big names. And he's very talented, but he's just, like you said, a bit of a dick. And the output is great. I mean, you watch this short, it's fantastic. But, the fact that nobody wants to watch with him and that he hasn't done much, since then, film-wise, he's done one or two.
Right, Hunter Prey, and I think he's working on another one right now. I really loved that Batman, though. His Batman, I think, might be my new favorite Batman.
Yeah. So
that guy's got the jaw.
Oh yeah. Well, his Batman short inspired, obviously every single Batman movie that came after it, and they even say that in the in the documentary, because like all of the campiness is gone. The Joker was definitely inspired by his Joker, even though that Joker was on screen for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then just a hand comes down, grabs him. And that's how we meet, the alien. And it's so beautiful. And I just love this short because it's obviously a passion project. And it shows like what happens when a creator loves a character.
Probably the only thing he loved more than himself is Batman.
Oh, wow.
he's an egomaniac, this guy. But he loves Batman, and it's great. It's a great documentary to watch. It's a little long, but it's great. It's great to see when he gets the acknowledgement from this short at the Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, like there were lines around the building. Like I had heard about it at the time because I was reading like Ain't It Cool News and all that, like when it broke. And I was just dying to see it. So as soon as it went online, I watched it. I loved it. And I mean, his Batman was Clark Bartram, and he just really embodied the role. And his Joker was Andrew Koenig, who was Boner from Growing Pains. Although they don't really show him in the documentary. Like that's who it is, which is really funny. I remember that coming out around that time.
The people that he got to work on that short were all like really, they all believed in it. They were all skilled people. I mean, to remake the Predators and to remake the Alien. I mean, they didn't use shit that they found on a back lot. They remade these things, and it was. I mean, it was an amazing effort by a team of people who didn't know if anything was going to come of it. And honestly, other than some fame, I don't know that anything really huge has come of it.
No, not really. But
acknowledgement, yeah.
To me, the big revelation is who he almost had play Batman and Joker.
Oh, what was it? Stallone and who else?
Sly Stallone was going to be Batman. And once Stallone was on the project, he said, well, the best Joker ever was the end.
Oh, that's
so he contacted Mark Hamill. Hamill was in. Stallone dropped out, and then Hamill dropped out.
Stallone should have never dropped out. I think it would have been fun.
Would that been?
Would have been great.
That would have been so amazing.
It would have been really great. It would have been one of those like, holy shit. I think it would have put Stallone on a whole other level with just like geeky, nerdy folks, you know. But this is what happens when you don't think for yourself and you have, you know, a manager or an agent telling you, no, you can't do something like that. I mean, that's literally the guy said, look, don't talk to any of your people. Just come down and shoot this with us. Because he knew that somebody would try to talk him out of it. And sure enough, it's exactly what happened. And it was I mean, you know, Stallone doesn't need to be any more famous than he has, but that would have been a real fun thing. I think that people would have loved him for.
But yeah, I mean, they even say that in the documentary. He was in, they had the private conversation, no agents, no lawyers, nobody. It's just like, look, this is obviously a gray area. Warner Brothers obviously owns Batman. This is just a fan film. And then, you know, he's like, all right, I'm in. And then the next day he calls back. He's like, yeah, I spoke to my agent. Agent says I should
not even the next day, dude. They were going to go to his house to fit him for that cowl. They were going to do a body. I mean, it was, you know, they were in the car on their way to his house, and he called.
Like, but they said it was like the next day. Like they were going to do the mold the next day, and on the way.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they had time to contact Mark Hamill and get him on board before that happened.
So he shouldn't have dropped out. That was a dick move of him to drop out. But whatever. The makeup and the costumes were so good. That Clark Bartram guy.
Yeah.
He is really good. He's got the perfect face for the Batman cowl. And you know what else I thought was interesting? And maybe if Stugots watches it, he'll see that they had all of this stuff from who's the Titanic? James Cameron. This guy loves James Cameron. And so they were showing all this James Cameron shit. And I didn't realize that, what's his name? Lance Henriksen was supposed to be the Terminator.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
That was, he would have been a way better Terminator.
Would have been a completely different movie. That's for sure.
Different movie, but I mean, that guy's an actor. You know what I mean? It was, apparently James Cameron is an amazing artist. And so he had drawn this picture of Lance Henriksen, half of his face as Terminator and half of his face as himself. And it was really worth watching the whole thing just to see that, because that stunned me. I hadn't known that, and I hadn't known that he was an artist.
I had known he was an artist.
Beautiful.
His first movie work was for Piranha 2 in the art department, basically.
There you go.
So it's, you know, if you read Cameron's history, you find out he was an artist who kind of just drifted to directing because he loved movies.
Yeah. Well, good for him. Henriksen as Terminator, though, I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah. So I mean, the art alone makes that documentary worth watching. Highly recommended by both myself and Shelle. So seek it out, find it out. It's coming to DVD and Blu-ray soon, and the short is on YouTube, and we'll give you a link in the show notes to check it out. But there was one other superhero movie we watched this week.
Yay!
Spider-Man had a homecoming.
Spider-Man.
finally returned to
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man has finally returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't be happier.
Oh.
Stugots, what did you think of the movie?
It was excellent. It was amazing.
We don't like to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man.
But it really was.
Yeah.
I mean, start to finish, the intro, how they incorporated the old cartoon theme song into it. So well, everything was just well done. The one scene where he's just sitting on the fire escape churro that some lady gave him and talking to Happy on the phone, and then how that conversation where he really felt like he was being ignored by Happy and Tony. Tony actually brought that up to him later, like, hey, stick to the, giving the lady directions on the street and eating a churro. And it was like, wow, it wasn't just Happy that was paying attention to him. Like, Tony was paying attention to every one of those voicemails that he left and text messages. It was just so well done. It really, really was. Michael Keaton as the Vulture was just great. The dude who played Shocker was very good. I can't see anything, and I can't see anything wrong with the film. I mean, they made changes to the Spider-Man lore, which, all right, we'll see what happens. I love how when he went to the Avengers headquarters in upstate New York, the Avengers Spider-Man suit, like that Iron Spider-Man suit, looked exactly, to me anyway, how it looked in the comic book when he became an Avenger and revealed to the world that he was Peter Parker, was Spider-Man, and right before the Civil War storyline actually started in the comic books. It was so good to see the Happy character, so prominently featured in something as opposed to being in a scene for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I loved Happy being the contact like that. Like, you get to see Happy as a character for the first time, where he's managing the move from the Avengers Tower. He's managing Peter. You can see that he's the guy. Obviously, Pepper runs his life, but he's the one who kind of carries the minor details. Like, make sure that, Tony's the one. Tony gets places, things like that. Like, he's not secretary, but he's got that just like managerial role over Tony's life.
He's not like a butler. He plays a really important part in Tony's life.
No, he's
Tony's not just Tony's life, but in the Iron Man, life.
Yeah, he's Tony's assistant, as opposed to Pepper, who is his personal assistant.
Yes.
So this guy, the Jon Favreau character, he is in the comics forever? Like, he's always been in the comics, but we're just seeing him now?
So he's been in the comics. Jon Favreau directed Iron Man in 2008 and put himself in the movie as Happy.
Because why not? If you are a filmmaker and a comic book nerd, you're going to be like, I will shoehorn myself into this somehow.
Fuck, I'd do it.
I know I would. I would in a minute.
Wait, I'm directing Iron Man? I'm putting myself in a scene. And, as a traditional Marvel character, why not? Just because it fits. And he's in one scene, maybe two, And then he's kind of drifted through other movies since then because it's a convenient character at times. But this is the first time where it's been like a serious, like a role with minor repercussions. Mm-hmm. Like, as opposed to, I'm going to hold the door open for you and things like that. And Mr. Stark is not available right now.
Now, in the comics, is Peter Parker that young in the comics?
Originally, he was a high school student. He's kind of aged up in the comics. He started as a high school student, went to college. Now he
was a teacher when he joins the Avengers.
Yeah. Oh, so he's a good 10 years older at least.
Yeah. Well, he now runs a multinational corporation. I think they're finally ending that storyline. So I think they're going to break that down. But
because the whole thing that was the key to the Peter Parker character over the years was that he was struggling to make a living, because everyone else was getting rich from being a superhero. Like, Tony Stark was rich or whatever, and he's like, poor kid from Queens who lives with his old aunt, and then he becomes a school teacher. It's like they're not exactly known for living it up. So like that always worked, like that working, like as if anyone could be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Plus, he was always the outsider. He was the nerdy kid. He was, you know, somebody that kids could identify with when they read Spider-Man. He's not the cool jock. He's just the kid who's kind of there, and he's the science nerd.
And this
Things
kid
like that.
plays it
He
up
doesn't-
perfectly. He is invisible. He's practically invisible at the school.
Oh yeah, no, he was perfect. He may be the best Peter Parker to date.
I think so. And he's a fan. The fact that he can only get a page of two of his scripts on the Avengers set as needed because he gets excited and tells people what's going to happen. And it's because he has genuine excitement. You know, that to me says a lot. You know, it's like, wow, he cares about what he's doing.
But like that's the opening scenes of the movie. Kind of, you really got that feeling like Tom Holland was excited to be there, not just Peter Parker. Like, oh my God, I'm doing this, and here I am with my phone. Oh wait, they're calling me. I'll be back. And it was just like,
I liked
oh,
that
man.
beginning. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, and supposedly they had to redo all those scenes because they hadn't shot them from those directions and whatever.
Are you serious?
Like, it was CG.
I got
you know, and footage, but like they didn't have. I don't think they had everybody come back in, kind of thing. But
I see.
But
yeah,
it's just like they had to redo all those scenes so they could get like that shot of it and everything. I think that's so cool.
Love that.
Like
that was so cool.
Oh, he's big now.
Yeah.
Go.
And it was just like, oh God, he's having fun with this. Like, I love like Spidey quips are supposed to be a reaction to Peter being nervous. Not just, I'm telling jokes because I'm funny. It's Peter's nervous. And this is how he acts out when he's being a superhero. Like, oh, fuck, I'm against somebody 10 times my size and 20 times as strong as me. I'm going to throw him off balance. I'm going to make jokes. I'm going to try and do whatever I can so that they don't know that I'm shaking in my boots. And you got that feel at times with him. Like the scene when he confronts Prowler. Like, and he whips him to the hood of the car, and it's just like, how do I stand? How do I interrogate? What am I doing?
Oh yeah, he couldn't do it, and they even said to him, "Dude, you need to get better at this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm intimidating. I'm intimidating.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, and the way that just and it was just great. Like. Plus, you know, I mean, that character is the same as the Prowler from the comics. His nephew in the comics is Miles Morales, and he makes a reference to his nephew. So we may see that down the line. The character's Aaron Davis. Yeah, I have it up. So it's just, like, there's so many little details. The villain that Toombs is meeting on this ferry, which they kind of blatantly do in the post-credit scenes, is Matt Gargan, who was the Scorpion. And it was just like so many little references that were great in there.
That was Nacho from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I was all excited when I saw him too. So was Jen. She elbowed me and was like, "There's Nacho."
I was watching with my little nephews. I couldn't go, that guy's a drug dealer on the TV show I like.
My version did not have any post-credit scenes.
The two post-credit scenes were very good.
They were. Oh, that last one was very funny with Captain America.
Yes.
Perseverance.
I like the Captain America in the movie. I thought those were hysterical.
The end credit scene is very much like that.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of filming one more of those.
That's hysterical.
Yes. I'm sure it'll leak onto YouTube, so we don't want to ruin that one for you.
No, it was funny.
Good.
And the other one is Toombs and Gargan meet again in prison. And it just
Michael Keaton kind of redeemed himself.
Yeah, well, I mean, this, like, his motivation was, I want to provide for my family.
Yeah.
This is all about family. Peter saved his family at the end. And this is sort of how he's paying Peter back by
Okay.
revealing the identity.
Oh, you
which I
see
thought was nice.
that little bit of a turn from the Vulture when they lay down on Coney Island Beach, and he looks over and realizes that it was Peter that saved them. You know,
Yeah, I mean, and I loved Michael Keaton in this movie. Like,
man, he was
just,
excellent.
It was scary in the car. In the car, he was really scary.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's the best scene in the movie because it's not like, you know, it's each of them kind of playing it differently, not knowing what's going on in the heads of the other characters, as two characters slowly recognize each other.
Yep.
And it was acting, and it was
It
brilliant.
was.
Right.
Like, and that's what I loved about this. Like, my biggest problem is that Spider-Man's always been a street-level hero. You know, he protects Queens, he protects Manhattan. And the movies have always tried to make him this really big hero, like the one where the lizard was going to, like, turn the world into lizard people.
Yes.
That's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like, he stops bank robbers. He stops the little guys. He stops Doc Ock from, you know, trying to rob people or, you know, do things that are bad, but on a street level. And, like, that's, like, what I love about the Netflix series, where you have street-level heroes. Not every hero is saving the world. Some of them are just saving their neighborhood.
Yes.
And I love the fact that there's scale, and that there's a movie where it's the same thing, where it's not, you know, Superman saving the world, it's Spider-Man saving Queens.
Friendly
Giving
neighborhood
directions to an
Spider-Man.
old lady.
Giving directions to an old lady. Stopping a guy who's selling weapons in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know? And he's just, like, I mean, he's just kind of keeping it low from Liz's house to try and stop them, and there's nothing to swing on, and he has to run across the golf course.
And the sprinklers are on.
Exactly. I love stuff like that. And it was just like having the little reference.
That one shot, he goes and shoots a web onto the treehouse, and the treehouse
And it falls down.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was so obvious, like, the reference they were making through that scene, that, like, when the movie came onto the TV screen, I'm just like, yeah, let's make it blatant now. But it was so obvious that it was
so much fun.
Ferris Bueller reference.
It's like, I mean, this is how a movie's supposed to be made.
Exactly. And I can honestly say this is my favorite Spider-Man movie at this point. I love this movie.
I think Sony's making a big mistake by not saying to Marvel, hey, we have all these other characters that we have rights to. Let's work on them together and just make them, let's make them great.
Yeah. Well, we have Tom Hardy as Bane coming up. Sorry, not Bane. Venom.
Well, you
he's already played Bane.
Right. He already played Bane.
Well, he's already played Bane. Yeah. Would you like to try and do the voice?
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Yeah.
Does this give you power over me?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So he's playing Venom in a Venom movie.
I mean, those are just a couple lines I remember off the top of my head, and if I wasn't exhausted right now, I'd probably be able to recite more, but there's no money here? Then why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched that in a long time either. To feed you lines. But he's playing Venom. Then we have the Black and Silver movie.
He played him like a puppet. Now that I'm thinking about it, like he easily could have been a puppet with those the over exaggerated facial expressions because he has a giant nebulizer on his face.
Well, now I want to see a Muppet Bane.
Yeah.
Angel when he turns into the puppet. I want to see that as Bane.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Smile Time Bane.
Smile Time Bane.
So we have him playing Venom. We have Black and Silver, which is the Black Cat Silver Sable movie.
No more, brother. They expect to find a body in the wreckage.
I love how your eyes bug out when you do these lines. That's what has me laughing the most. So we have these movies that may or may not have Spider-Man in them, that may or may not be part of Marvel saying they're not, and Sony saying they are, so we don't know. We might hear more in 2 weeks at San Diego. But who knows?
They really should if it's a money thing, just someone write a check or someone just be like, yeah, we'll work this out. Because obviously the proof is there. It's like when Marvel's involved, it's great. So they're doing something right. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. The thing is, guess they don't want to share it with Marvel, where they can just put out these side movies and be like, "Hey, look at what we're doing," and hope people show up. And hopefully
People
we
will show up and then they'll say, "This sucked."
well, that's what we said about the last two Spider-Man movies,
Exactly.
the Amazing Spider-Mans.
And we were right.
We were right. They're awful. And I love this movie. I love it so much. I need to see it again. I really do. So I can't. I'll probably have to catch it again the next week or two when I have some free time. I think we're all agree this is just a fantastic movie.
I thought it was really good. I would have liked to have seen more Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
I always want to see more Marissa Tomei.
Well,
Yeah.
that goes without saying.
A little sparingly.
But I mean, the other thing is that the kid, not Aunt May. It's never about Aunt May.
No, but it could be. She could have been in some sort of peril or something. So that ending scene was good.
Yeah, the ending scene was great.
Yes, it was.
What the f? Yeah. That was great.
What do you think about the MJ, the next MJ?
Well, they've said that's not necessarily Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
So we'll
not. It's Michelle.
Yeah.
Her name was Michelle.
Her name was
Michelle. MJ.
Yeah, at the end, she's like, "My friends call me MJ." Oh, just kidding. I don't have any friends.
Okay.
So who knows? Like they could go with that. They could just not. I love Zendaya in this movie too. It's just the disaffected friend who was just kind of always just there.
Yep.
And it was just like, she was just so deadpan. It was funny. I can't say I've ever seen her in anything before this.
She's a Disney kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was a Disney kid.
But they are really going out. They're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, because they met on this movie though.
They kept it a secret until the movie came
And one
out.
other thing, I love that they brought in Damage Control, because this is a comic I picked up like 20, 30 years ago, and the concept was these are the people who clean up after the superhero battles. It was very funny. It was a great series. They've done 2 of them. And then it just kind of something that's disappeared to the background of Marvel. And there was even going to be a sitcom about Damage Control. And now we have it in Spider-Man. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was very good. And then it was Tyne Daly who was there.
Yeah, I was going to say, and led by Tyne Daly as Anne-Marie Hogue. So it was just so great.
That could be another, like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not a comedy. I wouldn't make it a comedy.
Well, I'd love to see it as a comedy. Like, what do these guys get up to when they're cleaning up this mess? We don't need another Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're getting Inhumans. We have Agents.
I'd rather have.
We don't need.
I'd rather have this than Inhumans.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
I'd rather have Damage Control.
Me too, but Inhumans is going to be an 8-part series coming in September. So I'm sure we'll all watch it because we do things like that. I do want to say one last thing. Hannibal Buress in this movie was hilarious as the coach.
Yes. Where else have I seen him, though?
He's a stand-up comedian. He did the Eric Andre show. Just quickly bringing up his IMDb.
Maybe I know him from the stand-up.
He was in the movie Baywatch. Other than that, yeah, he's nothing like serious. Like a lot of like Comedy Central TV shows and things like that. He was on 30 Rock several times, but yeah, that's about it. Like he hasn't had any breakout roles. He's just a stand-up comedian, and he's very funny. Like he has the scene where he's playing the Captain America TV. And your coach over here, and you stand to the side. All right, he's a war criminal or something, but do what he says.
We still got to play his videos.
We still got to play his videos. We're gonna do it. And then
I like how in the political science class they were talking about the Wachovia Accords.
Yeah, and that was what's his name? The guy who's on Silicon Valley and was in Freaks and Geeks, and now I'm gonna blank on his name. Damn it. I know this too. Martin Starr. So that was Martin Starr, who's also very funny. But I do want to say that my favorite thing was at the premiere. So he just sent some other guy, and people just interviewed him thinking he was Hannibal Buress. Nobody said anything.
Nice.
There's footage. Yeah, there's footage of him being interviewed as Hannibal Buress, and it's like people don't know. And you have to Google it. He'll just answer questions like, "Yeah, it was great to be in this movie," and whatever. It's just some random guy off the street.
Should have been like a white dude.
Well, I think that would have been too obvious.
No one would have caught on.
No, probably not. But is there anybody who doesn't think this was the best Spider-Man movie yet, or is this kind of unanimous for us? Shelle?
I've liked this one the best. Yeah, I didn't like Tobey Maguire at all, and I didn't love Andrew Garfield.
No,
Wait, you liked Andrew Garfield more than you liked Tobey Maguire?
Yes, but that's because I really hate Kirsten Dunst. So anything that she was in, I do not like her. She's
okay.
I don't. She's.
But again, this was a kid. You could tell like he's enjoying being Spider-Man, and like those are the best moments in the Tobey Maguire movies as well, and they're few and far between.
Like when he's trying to get the web shooter to work.
Yeah, or when it's like those first moments. It's just like it never comes across as much as it did as when our new Tom Holland Spider-Man did it. So I'm glad we all loved this movie. I'm sure we'll talk about it again just because out of sheer love. And Comic-Con is in 2 weeks, and I'm sure there'll be stuff there about it, even though they're going to be pushing their new movies as well. So in the meantime, it's time for some Kevin James blind items.
Oh. They're all about Kevin James.
It's all about Kevin James.
I even went onto that website and did a search for Kevin James. Nothing. Not a damn thing. I don't know if that guy's just not interested in Kevin James or if Kevin James just flies under the radar.
Well, I mean, Kevin James isn't really part of the Hollywood machine. Like, he shows up, he does his movies, he does his interviews, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear about him going out to dinner or anything like that.
He's not at the parties.
Yeah, so it's like, why would they gossip about him? Like, is he married?
I know nothing about him.
I'm not judging, I'm just asking. Like, because you find that a lot. Like, a lot of the older actors tend to not do that stuff, especially. Some people just enjoy doing it and don't want the attention in their private lives.
Well, there will never be Kevin James as an answer to a blind item.
Okay.
I don't say never, but
he's married with 4 kids.
Yeah.
To answer my own question.
All right. So are you ready for the blind items?
See.
I am ready.
All right. All right. This foreign-born A-list, mostly movie actor, is only A-list when filming his franchise. With offers coming in that were about a third of the fee he would get for his franchise, he agreed to sign up for another installment.
You said foreign-born?
Foreign-born A-list, mostly movie actor, only A-list when filming his franchise.
And Vin Diesel's born in the United States.
People are offering him a third of his fee for non-franchise movies. And so he says no and agreed to do another installment of this franchise.
Well, of course, because he'll get a bigger paycheck and make more money.
And he'll be A-list.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I said, Vin Diesel doesn't do well outside of his... But he's actually got 2 franchises. And
he has the Kojak franchise coming out.
I was thinking... Well, I was thinking...
Let me say this to you.
Sci-fi one in the...
Biggest franchise ever.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Bigger.
No.
Bigger than Star
franchise?
Wars?
Yeah. let's say, besides Harrison doesn't want anything to do with that, and he's A-list on his own.
Yeah, yeah.
Bigger than
What?
Star Wars.
Bigger than Star Wars.
What franchises are there? Yes. Oh, I know it. It's James Bond. What's his name? Because he just signed up this week for a new one.
Oh, really?
Daniel Craig.
Ooh.
Daniel Craig, yeah. Just came out this week.
Obviously for the money, but I felt like the last two James Bond films were his last James Bond film.
Because no one else wants him. They don't want him for his fee. So he wants to stick it out. I think he thought maybe they did, he doesn't want to be typecast, but in the end.
And see, I love the indie movies he did before it, like Layer Cake and things like that. But but I mean, he's not an A-list actor. It's just he's in an A-list franchise.
And he's an A-list. He plays an A-list character.
That's what I mean. The character is the franchise.
Didn't the story come out where it wasn't this last James Bond film, but the one before that? I guess Skyfall. Is it Skyfall? Yeah, I guess Skyfall. That the studio was going to go bankrupt, so he actually, I don't know if he took less money or if he agreed to do those Heineken commercials just so that they could have enough money to pay the crew on these films.
I hadn't heard that.
I hadn't heard that one either.
That's interesting.
Oh, I'll flip that up. All right, so let's hear another Blotling item that doesn't involve Kevin James.
All right. I'm not sure this back in the day A-list singer-songwriter who has not had a hit in over a decade will be going back to this singer's annual concert event. The founder / cranky permanent A-list singer told her to fuck off when she asked for an extra trailer. So there's two people here. One hasn't had a hit in 10 years. And the other,
it's someone from Lilith Fair.
And the other is a modern singer who's running a festival?
Founder, cranky, permanent A-list singer. So permanent A-list, he's been around a very long time.
A he.
A he.
The person who has the annual concert event.
The annual concert event is Lollapalooza.
Yes.
What's his name? Farrell. Perry Farrell.
Perry Farrell.
Okay. And the person he told to fuck, it's not Perry Farrell and Lollapalooza.
It's not Lollapalooza.
It's not Lollapalooza.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, it's not. It's not the Fire Festival.
This A-list singer hasn't had a hit in over a decade.
Fergie.
Has Fergie not had a hit in over a decade?
Pretty much.
The only thing I know that she does that's almost worth watching is she still does the L.A. New Year's Eve party. That comes on.
That's the only thing I saw her.
After Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve is over.
Oh, really?
Well, no, they combine the two, and then they just rerun it.
I don't know her to do anything else anymore that's worth noticing. Not that that's worth noticing. It's just that you're up, so that's what's on.
All right. Hint number 1. The woman, all she wants to do is have some fun.
Oh, it's Shelle.
Shelle.
She's touring right now.
She hasn't had a hit in 10 years?
Yeah, she only had that 1 or 2 albums that were successful.
And the founder...
I just can't believe that time went by so quickly.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous how fast time goes by.
The first album was 20 years ago.
Yikes.
Wow. So yeah, I would believe that she had a few hits for over 10 years. And then, So, all right. And the founder,
cranky, permanent A-list singer has gotten in trouble for having weed on his bus.
Oh, Willie Nelson.
Dog.
Was it Farm Aid?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He told her to fuck off when she asked for an extra trailer.
Well, of course he's going to. He don't give a crap.
No, he doesn't care about Sheryl Crow.
Willie Nelson isn't just A-list. He's A+. Willie could do nothing for the rest of life and just show up people places.
Well,
People go, oh, there's Willie Nelson.
the
That's
rest
what
of
I
his
said.
life
Permanent
isn't gonna,
A-list.
yeah,
Yeah.
the rest of his life isn't going to be long. It's kind of old.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, like, you know, even here, New York City, we don't listen to much Willie Nelson, but everybody knows who Willie Nelson is.
Yeah.
Everybody can name Willie Nelson songs.
He's Uncle Willie.
You know? Exactly. And anybody, when he shows up, will go, oh, Willie, you need some weed?
Yeah.
So, you know, even people who don't listen to him know who Willie Nelson is. So he's beyond A-list. He's A+.
Well, he
agree with
has
you,
done
Buzz.
more than country music, though. That's
Well,
probably
yeah, he's
why.
acted. He's done
Yep.
music.
But he's written songs for years for all different genres of music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most people
But,
don't know that.
but he's known for his performances because people don't really pay attention
Yes.
to who writes. So,
Well,
All right.
Stugots does.
So of course, Stugots does. All right,
Well, really only for Willie Nelson. I mean, I can't say I know songwriters. It's just I remember one time someone getting mad at me for enjoying the Willie Nelson cover version of the song. Oh fuck! I'm gonna mess it all up now. Never mind. I can't process right
Oh,
now.
right.
Sorry.
That's fine. Our
Sorry.
next blind item is an exclusive
Shit.
from Blind Gossip. Is
Well,
it
I just
All
want to
the
point out,
Girls I've Loved Before?
no, did he do a cover? I was just going to point out that Barry Manilow does write the songs. So.
You make the whole world sing.
Exactly. So you know, some people do pay attention to who's writing songs. All right, go ahead with the third.
All right. BlindGossip.com exclusive. Yeah. Okay. This very famous actor with the unique name is still under 40, but has done at least 20 films. While his wife is busy raising their kids and picking up an occasional film or TV project, our movie star is busy picking up women on the internet.
Ryan
Here's
Reynolds.
Here's one very recent
That's what I was
example.
going to
No.
Oh.
A woman overseas commented on one of his posts. He direct messaged her. She didn't
Sent a
believe
penis
that
pic.
it was really him. He sent a selfie and told her, I like you. That's why I asked you to add me here. He told her, when I saw your profile, I just couldn't take my eyes off of you. They've been chatting ever since. They plan on meeting up the next time he's in her country. He's asked her to keep their conversation secret. Clearly, she has
And yet
not
here it
done
is on
that.
the internet.
Yet here it is on blindgossip.com. Very famous actor with a unique name. Very unique name. Never
Ingve
heard this.
Malmsteen.
Yes, he's a very famous actor, Ingve
Oh, he's a
Malmsteen.
guitarist. He's not an actor.
Very unique name. Yul Brynner.
That is a unique
He's-
name, but he
It
is
is?
He's kind of dead.
he
So,
is dead.
uh,
Dead. Under
A
40.
unique name.
under 40, unique name. Married, has kids.
Hmm.
Magic is my first clue. Magic.
It's not Doug Henning.
It's not Doug Henning.
David
Magic
Copperfield,
Johnson?
over 40.
Magic Mike.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
There you go.
He's married. I didn't know he was married and had kids.
I didn't know he was straight. So,
Okay. Ta-da! Everybody's
I-
learning something.
Yeah, I didn't know he was straight either. I thought he was queer.
Oh.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I
No,
don't
it doesn't
judge.
make him a bad person, that's for sure.
No.
No, Channing Tatum on the internet. Doesn't he have a children with Eva Mendes?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I didn't know he was with Eva Mendes. I thought he was with Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
I don't know who
Queer.
would be the bottom in that situation, but
Oh,
obviously
I
one
don't
of them.
know. Maybe Zac Efron. We don't know yet.
Zac Efron would be the top in those combinations.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I'll defer to you on that one.
They both look. The other two look way too feminine. Zac Efron come home from a hard day shooting Baywatch, be like, Vin, this might be a hat. And then Vin Diesel with his little apron, like, oh, Zac Efron, what are you doing? Oh, Zac Efron.
Because that's exactly how Vin Diesel sounds.
And then Zac Efron would be like, get away from me, huh? You think bats?
That's exactly how he sounds. It's
Oh,
amazing.
Oh, geez, there, huh? Just get me my beer. I've been on the set with The Rock all day, huh? Oh,
Actually,
jeez.
The Rock would have been on set with both of them if it was Baywatch and Fast and the Furious.
Yes, but they didn't do them at the same time.
Good point. Good point.
Interesting.
Do you have one more for us? Or
I do have
we
one
move
more.
on? Let's hear one more.
This
This is what happens when I'm up for like 24 hours. It's like,
It's hilarious, but you know.
I couldn't think of the damn Willie Nelson song, but I can just put Zac Efron and Vin Diesel and All in the Family.
like Georgia or something? Like, is it a song he wrote or something?
No, he covered. Oh, The Scientist. The Chipotle commercial and the releasing it, and it was perfect. I thought it was better than the Gwyneth Paltrow's husband's band singing it.
Oh, I hate that band. I hate
Chris
I know.
Martin.
But the song is really like Willie Nelson said he made it his own. I remember I really enjoyed it, and I don't know, someone hated it, and they got all pissed off and was like, Willie Nelson's never done anything worth mentioning. I'm like, are you insane? He's been writing #1 Grammy-winning songs since the 40s, 50s.
Were they younger?
No, they were older than me, actually.
Oh, what the hell?
Crazy. All right. So that
I hope
last
you
blind
punched
item.
them in the nose. Okay, the last blind item is this female-centric TV series recently had its series finale.
Girl.
However, fans are fuming that the showrunner / head writer stole the series conclusion from a fan. Apparently, the showrunner had no idea where to take the show until one of the pretty cast members read a piece of fan fiction online that provided a creative plot resolution. The actress sent it to the showrunner. The showrunner wound up implementing the plot exactly how the fan wrote it, but pretended like it was her own idea.
This is Lena Dunham, isn't it?
So while many may hail the showrunner as a great creative thinker, you now know that she took the final season's plot from a fan of the show and failed to give them credit.
Is it Lena Dunham?
It's not Lena Dunham. If I keep
Good.
reading,
I've never thought of her as a creative thinker. No, I actually wanted to say that part.
she's terrible. Then it just came out that she not only did she sexually molest her sister, now it came out that she is a dog abuser as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Back.
What's the other girly show that just
I don't even know who she is, but she sounds horrible.
She's horrible.
She also came out and said that she wished that she had had an abortion because it seems so cool to do. That's what I tweeted, that exact thing, and I got a lot of retweets from that. It was about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I said, we all wish your mother had. What, my tweet, or that she said that?
Just that she said that. Everybody knew she was an awful person before that.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's a terrible thing to say. She's a skank.
With the girly, I know. Like, I remember people. It's not Pretty Little Liars, is it?
No. It's Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, it is Pretty Little Liars.
Oh.
And I will tell you, the finale was terrible.
Oh. I didn't watch it, but everybody, like, who I know who watches it and tweets online or whatever, or posts online, were just like, that ending made no sense. Like, it was something out of left field.
It was literally the worst ending of a show. It made Lost look like Citizen Kane. It was terrible. It was terrible. They even used an evil twin. That's how bad and shitty it was.
Wow. Oh, sounds like Riverdale.
The first 7, I watched. It was 7 seasons. I watched every season. I binge watched like 6.5 seasons or whatever, and then waited for this last half a season. And the first coming up to it were pretty good, even the later seasons. And this was just literally the biggest disappointment. It was, I would not recommend watching this show because you will be so pissed off by the end.
Oh, I guarantee I'll never watch it.
No, it's a more girly show.
I was just about to load it up onto the Betamax, and now
Don't you dare. You should watch Gilmore Girls instead if you're going to want to watch a girlier show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass on
That's
that
a
one
good
too.
one.
I'll stick with Veronica Mars. Thank you very much.
Gilmore Girls is very good, though.
I've heard.
The mother is gorgeous.
She
Oh,
is.
yes.
She is really cute. Everybody's cute in that show. And Sally Struthers is on that show.
Oh.
Sally Struthers on Gilmore Girls. Amazing. Just amazing. And she plays a complete lunatic. It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, all right.
And
There we go.
Sally Struthers, that brings us to Hot Pigs.
Hot pig. Hot pigs.
Hot pigs.
On that note, Shelle, what do you got for us this week?
Well, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Stugots had recommended following Alex Ross on Twitter,
Yes.
which I did. And then I noticed that Alex Ross was also tweeting out these videos from his YouTube channel, and they're great. And so my pick this week is the Alex Ross YouTube channel. He has great videos up there about his process and just it's just really informative. And if you care at all about artists and artwork and comic book stuff, you would really enjoy watching him on
The
his
one that
YouTube
you
channel.
had sent us was really good, where he saw drawing Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they're short. They're totally watchable. They're not like, it's not a half hour long. It's not like the 90-minute fiasco for the 8-minute film that we watched just this week. But they're 3 to 8 minutes long, and they're really informative. And he seems like a really level-headed.
What?
He's a level-headed Stugots. That's not very nice to say.
I'm watching Stugots trying to stay awake, and he literally opens his eyes as big as like saucers. And
I'm trying to keep them open.
Come on, you only got another like 5 minutes left, Stugots.
It's absurd. So anyway, Alex Ross's YouTube channel. If you love comic book art, you will love this guy. He seems like a very cool man.
Yeah, I always love the creative process. Like when I go to comic book conventions, I like to stop and watch the artist drawing and artist alley, things like that. So yeah, it's really interesting. And definitely I have to watch more of them than the one you sent us privately before, like within the last week or so. When you start checking it out. So cool, something to look to watch. What do you got for us, Stugotses?
You think darkness is your ally? I was born in it, molded by it. I had not seen light till I was a man.
So Stugots' hot pick this week is Darkness.
It will be in a few minutes, so I'll be closing my eyes.
No,
My hot pick this week is a 1976 crime film / musical / comedy titled Bugsy Malone.
Ooh!
It has a cast of Scott Baio and Jodie Foster. They are kids playing adults in the roaring 20s, New York City. It's actually, I thought it was pretty funny and cute at the same time. And, being from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, I tend to support my own, like Scott Baio. And, here's a young Scott Baio, young Jodie Foster, kind of before either of them were discovered for anything else.
Yeah.
And doing a musical, I thought, and playing adults. They weren't playing kids who were gangsters, like they were playing adults.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't seen that movie in years, but
I've never seen it until a few days ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the
I
ratings.
saw it on cable.
Yeah, IMDb rates it 7 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 83%, and Roger Ebert had rated it 3.5 out of 4. That's pretty good rankings.
Yeah, definitely. I remember
Awesome.
seeing that when I was a little girl in the theater. That was one that I really wanted to see. It was just chock full of kids.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was
good
the whole
spoof.
point. They wanted kids watching a gangster movie because gangster movies
Yeah.
were big then. Awesome. So my pick this week is a comic book.
Hmm.
So there's this comic called Headlocked, which is sort of trying to kind of, learn the ropes, try and become a wrestler himself, and starts, thing and work his and work his way into the ring, things like that. I happen to know the writer, Mike Kingston. I was finally picked it up at Comic-Con, in October at New York Comic-Con. I supported their Kickstarter a month or two ago. One that comes out in the fall, and it's really entertaining. It's a little really interesting because it's like, this is the kid training. This is the kid, all the things that like you hear that wrestlers go through. And the coolest part is Mike has a lot of real wrestlers working on it with him.
Oh.
Blank on who I had to literally chase around New York Comic-Con to get it signed. It literally took me 3 days to find him. Thompson, who worked on Sandman. A lot of covers by Jerry Lawler.
He's a great. He draws phenomenally.
Oh yeah, he does. So he does a lot for comics. Let's see, a lot of. Should have looked up the list ahead of time, so I'm unfortunately not going to have it and like names. So like people I know that he, like, even when he does the conventions, he has the wrestlers come out. So he had Christian, Ric Flair, Mick Foley, and his daughter at their table at New York
awesome.
Comic-Con when I picked it up. So it's a really excellent series. And in fact, Stugots, I will send you a copy that I have.
Oh, excellent! Thank you.
If you like it, you got to pick up the rest of them because we got to support our friends.
Yep.
But it's a lot of fun, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a little soap opera-ish. Like, so I got the second volume. It's come back into print. So where somebody got injured in the ring, they blamed this kid. So as he's training, he's doing it in a lucha mask, and he's wearing the lucha mask all the time. And all the other wrestlers are sort of being drama-driven around, like, who this kid? What's the deal with him? Why is he getting the attention of these major wrestlers? Things like that. Everything's fictional, so it's like not real wrestlers in the comics.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's just like, this kid trying to make it into. And the one I'll send you is Headlock Glass Territory Volume 1, I believe is the one I have.
Oh,
so,
cool. Thanks.
Yeah, so that's my hot pick. Headlock.
Hot pick.
And that brings us to the end of yet another show. Stugots, I know. Do you want to give us one more Bane before we go?
Wait. I closed the tab open with the quotes.
Oh. I thought they were all in his head.
That last one wasn't. I couldn't remember the actual line.
I figured after
the other ones were.
I figured after the first set when he's like, I can't remember any more lines. I thought he left it open.
Let's see. I closed it because I think having it open was kind of
slowing you down a little bit.
Slowing me down. Yeah, you were breaking up on my end.
See, he broke up on my end too. I think it's him.
Yeah.
It probably.
Damn you, Just John.
I know.
No, you have my permission to die. Yes.
And more more bad Bane impressions that'll make you laugh your ass off.
Yeah.
Check us out at geekodrome.co, We're on iTunes, Google
That's
Play,
you.
Stitcher, or wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Fine podcast.
MySpace too.
We're on MySpace.
It's very lonely there.
No,
Long
it's
echo.
not.
I got like 25 friends on.
It's
MySpace.
ridiculous. It's a party over there on MySpace.
On Twitter, we can be found at Geekodrome Pod, and on
I love
Facebook.
Shelle was just dancing. She was
Of course
just
she was. 'Cause
I'm
she's
raising the roof.
raising the
she's
roof
at that
because
MySpace
it's a
party.
Yes.
One day I'll tell you the story of when I went. I'll tell you the story of when I went to a MySpace party once. It was kind of interesting.
Oh, I want to hear that story.
There was literally nobody there.
Oh.
We're on Facebook. at
John, you're
Geekodrome
not
Pod.
nobody. You're somebody.
That's not why I was there. All right, we can be found on Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. I'm John. I can be found on Twitter at just John. Shelle can be found on Twitter and Gab. Shexter on MySpace. Stugots is at Don Stugots on Twitter, and he is the host of the Eat Up Show Monday nights on the Facebook.
Yep.
Did you cook up this?
This week we made some cool slaw.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And while you eat your cool slaw, you can listen to the music of First House. Thank you, First House, for supplying all the music of
Thank you, First
Geekodrome.
House.
Until next week, it's been too sweet.
Too sweet.